What's up, beautiful people? Welcome back to part 2 of our Pokemon Opal walkthrough. We've just entered the cave where we ended things off in the last video. 2 outlaws ran into this cave and the sheriff was chasing after them. So that's how we ended things off. We've just encountered a Geodude in the cave, which is one of the original 151 Pokemon, so I'm definitely going to try and catch it. But in the previous video, we chose our starter Pokemon. We chose this Pokemon, the Fire-type Flassinge. We have managed to train it up to level 11. We also caught some new Pokemon to add to our team. And we came across some of the new types, some different variations of original Pokemon, which was really cool. We caught a Fire-type Meowth, which absolutely shocked me. We also saw the crazy intro story of this game, so if you haven't gone back and watched part 1 of this walkthrough, you definitely must. It is an amazing watch and it will help you guys understand what's really going on with the storyline, and definitely if you haven't thought of playing this game, it will convince you to give it a go. Now back to the story. We are battling a couple trainers in the cave. We've just picked up a repel item, so we're going to see if we can encounter these outlaws that made their way in here. We haven't really come across any villains in the story yet, so maybe the outlaws are the villains of this game, but we'll have to keep exploring. And I like that you don't just encounter Pokemon in the cave randomly. They kind of like roam around in a little dust ball. So if you want to encounter a wild Pokemon in a cave, you have to run into one of those Pokemon balls, and then only then will you battle or encounter a Pokemon, which is quite nice because sometimes caves can be super annoying with Zubat popping everywhere. And it looks like we found the outlaws. They've come across an operator in the cave and they're trying to steal his explosives. But the operator says, no ways, you can't take that from me. So here it looks like these are the outlaws. They look really creepy and they tell us to forget we ever saw them. So they do look quite scary and they do look strong. And the operator runs behind us and he asks for help. And the outlaws say they are the dreaded Team Gatling. So these are Gatling grunts. These must be the villains in the game. And it looks like they're ready for a battle, so let's see what they've got. Hopefully we are strong enough to take them on. Wow, okay, their group, their gang logo looks really cool. Team Gatling. Let's see what Pokemon they have. Okay, he just has one Pokemon luckily. And they send out a level 9 Croagunk. Okay, so that's like a poison type. We've got Poliwag up front, but our Poliwag's only level 4. We're going to have to swap out so it can get some experience. I do need to swap in some of my weaker Pokemon. And here's the Fire-type Meowth I was talking about. I'm going to try swap in as many of my team as I can so they can all get a bit of experience. But my Flassinge should be able to take up Croagunk. And these are all the Pokemon that I've caught so far, so it's a nice time to show you guys my team. It's definitely going to change, but this is my team as it is. And it's not a bad team. You can come across some awesome Pokemon quite early on in the game. And there we go. We have defeated them with Flassinge. And a whole bunch of Pokemon in my team have leveled up now, so that's definitely going to help. If we can get most of our team to around level 8, 9, 10, I think we'll be ready to take on the first gym leader eventually. Okay, so that's Team Gatling Grunt defeated. Let's see if we have to battle the second one. Oh no, okay, the second Grunt takes the explosives and runs off. So that's not good. We better try and catch that Grunt before he does something with the explosives. And the operator says that he's really worried because those explosives can be quite dangerous. And as a thank you, he gives us TM01 Hone Claws. So that's a nice little gift for him. And he says he's got to get back to work, so we'll leave him to do that. But now we've got to try find that other Gatling grunt. It's got to be somewhere nearby. He couldn't have got that far. Okay, and we've made it out the cave. So here we've reached Route 3. And the little sign tip board said start a Pokemon evolve at level 17 and 45. So that's useful to know. So our Flassinge will first evolve at level 17 and then it will evolve again at level 45. I've got no idea what their evolutions look like, but I can't wait to see them. I hope that Flassinge looks really cool when it evolves. Okay, we encountered a Gulpin here, so I do want to try catch it. We haven't caught this Pokemon yet. I don't know if there's any benefit to catching a large amount of Pokemon, but I love catching as many Pokemon as I can. It's always fun to have good teams in your PC that you can choose from. But I am super excited to see what other Pokemon we can encounter in Route 3. I am going to battle and catch a lot of Pokemon off camera, so don't be surprised if my team is different. But here we've come across Don Prodigio, and he offers to trade one of our Pokemon for a Pokemon of similar value. So that's interesting. You can trade any Pokemon in your team, and he'll trade you a Pokemon that's similar, I guess, but you've got no idea who you're going to get. But it sounds cool. This sounds like a fun option. Let's see what happens. We're going to try and trade Whismur. Okay, at least they give you the option for a Blitzel. Blitzel is that electric type zebra Pokemon. It's pretty strong, but I think I'm going to keep Whismur. And it's cool that they included this in the game. The guy says we'll be able to find him in other areas in other cities too. So we might try and trade with him down the line again. It's a nice little addition to the game. You never know, maybe one time he'll trade us something really cool or rare. But now it looks like there's a few construction workers building things on a site here. There's a whole bunch of Pokemon helping them. And we picked up another TM. So now let's keep exploring. Wow, here it looks like a Jigglypuff or something. Or Clefairy, sorry. Ah! What are you doing? I've been tracking that Clefairy for 2 days trying to catch it. Now you let it get away. Don't you know how rare that Clefairy is? Okay, so this is the girl I think we saw in the previous video. I think she chose the water-type dolphin-like Pokemon that we are supposed to get. So I don't know if she ends up being our rival or our friend or something. But she wants to battle. She's quite angry we got in her way when she was trying to catch that Clefairy. But we didn't mean to do it on purpose. And she sent out a little Natu that our Poliwag has knocked out. As you can see, my Poliwag's already level 12. We've been doing a lot of training off camera. And I have switched up my team a little bit. As you can see, I've got Whismur on my team. So let's try and trade Whismur up. And yes, she chose the other starter Pokemon, which was Swolefin. And it's level 10, so we're going to have to be careful with a water type. Unfortunately, we don't have any grass types. If we did trade for that Blitzel, it would have helped us. But we got Shinx, but our Shinx is already knocked out. But let's see, we got a whole bunch of Pokemon on our team. I'm sure we'll be able to take it out eventually. So let's give Nidoran a go. Nidoran only gets one attack in before we have to swap him out. And let's send the big boy Flassinge out. Okay, come on Flassinge. Took a lot of damage from the water attacks, but we're hanging in there. Okay, Flassinge got knocked out. It's down to Poliwag pretty much. Poliwag is at a higher level. And we put Swolefin to sleep, so that's what we needed. And we've knocked it out. So there we go, some of our Pokemon level up. We got a lot of experience. But we don't even know who this trainer's name is. Hopefully she'll introduce herself now. And she calls a truce with us since we won. And her name is Gala. So that's nice to meet her. and she wants to challenge the gym leader. So it looks like she's on the same journey as us, and she tells us not to get in her way. Okay, so it looks like she's in a rush, but I'm sure we'll bump into Gala again down the line. I'm also curious to see what her Pokemon evolution looks like. Swolefin also looks like a really cool Pokemon. Okay, there's a little area of water here that you can probably swim across, but we're not at that level yet. We don't have HM Surf, but there is a bit of an area here for us to explore. And now we go down south. So we have reached, yes, Jaloke City. I still don't know if my pronunciation is correct. So let me know in the comments if I'm saying it wrong, Jaloke or Jaloque. But I'm happy that we have made it to the next city. We can do some exploring now. Let's see what all is going on here. See if there's any side quests. See if we can find the gym leader. And if there's any information on what type the gym leader is. At least we can try and work out our team in a smart way. Okay, and this house doesn't have too much. We're just doing a bit of exploring. And there's a picture frame. So here's a picture of the boy that lives here. It seems the boy's name is Mundanas or something. I'm not so familiar with all of these Spanish names, so it's a bit tricky for me. Please forgive me. But yeah, let's see what else there is. Here's a Pokemon Center that we definitely need to visit. We have to heal up our team after that tough battle with Gala. So let's heal our team and then we can chat to everyone else in the Pokemon Center and see what else is going on. Okay, there's a couple people here chilling in the Pokemon Center, but nothing too useful. We might need to stock up on some Great Balls and maybe a potion or two. We do have quite a bit of money now, so let's get a bunch of Great Balls. We're going to be catching a lot more Pokemon. And we might need to swap some of our team. Let's see who all we should move into our team. We're going to look at some of their stats. Wow, that Abra is super strong. You can see by the stars how strong they are. If you have a really big star and a lot of stars, then that Pokemon has high EV levels. Not EV levels, IV levels, sorry. So I think we definitely have to add that Abra to our team just because how strong it is. And Abra is an amazing Pokemon. And I think I want to use Roly-Coly. I've never used Roly-Coly in a team before. I do want to try some different Pokemon in this playthrough that I haven't really used. Not just the usual popular ones that I always play with. Okay, but now that we've swapped our team around a bit, we can continue exploring. Whoa, here's another house with an older couple. We can have a quick chat with them and then explore upstairs. The old lady asks if we are from Breeze Town. She says her parents are from Breeze Town. So that's pretty cool. And this must be their son. I still live with my parents despite being 40 years old. Nothing wrong with that. Houses are expensive these days. Stay with your parents as long as you can. Okay, and it looks like here's some kind of sheriff or policeman, and yeah, he just tells us to stay out of trouble. And here, this looks like the gym leader, and it looks like that boy Mundanes is the gym leader. So we went and explored his house earlier where we saw a picture of him. So at least we know who we're battling now, but we still don't know what type Mundanes has, what type of Pokemon he uses. But he wasn't at the gym, so maybe we have to do something else first to try and encounter him, or for him to return back to the gym. Okay, we've chatted to a lot of people in here. And this person asked if we want to earn a reward. So I think this is like the police station. And you can, looks like you can kind of take out bounties here. So they tell us there is an outlaw that escaped the tunnel. And here's the professor. So we bumped into him here. What are the odds? Have you thought about what I said? I lived right next door. Stop by for a visit. Okay, so the professor lives here. He lives next door. So we'll definitely go and chat to him a bit more. I do like his Pokemon. I'm sure it's a shiny Pokemon. His crocodile or whatever it is. I wonder if we'll get to battle him at some point. That would be fun. Okay, and this woman says she wants a Badoo. And she'll trade a C-Dot for it. So that might be a cool trade if you want a C-Dot. And the other person gave us a grip claw. So we are getting some cool hold items. But I think we should make our way to the professor's house and see what he wants to say. Whoa, it looks like he's got a really nice house here up in the mountains. Meet my daughter Talia. Sit down, I've made coffee for the whole regiment. The city's a little shaken up. Have you heard about the return of Team Gatling? Yes, bloody bastards. They did a lot of damage with that attack on the Pokemon League 7 years ago. Hundreds of people died. So that's what we saw in the previous video. If you haven't watched the previous video, you must watch it. It's quite crazy. But I'm guessing Team Gatling is going to cause a lot of problems for us. I wonder who their leader is. And Talia tells us to go upstairs and give her father a hand. So let's see what the professor's doing upstairs. I'm sure I left it around here. Ah yes, a reward. You received a Pokédex. What do you think? Okay, so now we just got our Pokédex. He says there's more than 800 species of Pokemon in this game. At least we can record them all now in our Pokédex. So that's a good start to the game. And someone's just entered. What a surprise. It's my good friend Mundane. So this is the gym leader, I'm sure. So hopefully we can tell him that we want to battle him. And he can go back to the gym. Ah, hello. My name is Mundanes. He's our respected gym leader. No, I'm not a leader of anything. I won by lottery. Okay, so there's some kind of lottery system in this town. And if you win the lottery, you become the gym leader. So that's interesting. It seems Mundanes might not entirely want to be the gym leader, or he's not too confident yet. But the professor tells him not to be so negative. He should consider himself lucky that he's the gym leader. I think Mundanes just needs some time to find himself, and yes, he needs to develop his character. But we'll definitely battle him. I'm looking forward to challenging him and seeing what Pokemon he has. Okay, so it looks like that's all there is to do at the professor's house. We've got our Pokédex, we've met the first gym leader, and we've jumped to a cutscene. Sorry I lost my nerve flips. I didn't even want to be a trainer, but my mom signed me up for that lottery. They forced me to stand for 4 hours a day. So it seems Mundanes isn't too enthusiastic about being a gym leader yet. So that's pretty interesting. Whoa, and here's the outlaw. It's just ran into Mundanes, and it looks like he's dropped a Pokeball, and the outlaw has now stolen it and ran off. So that's not good news. Mundane asks if we can help him get his Pokemon back. I've got no idea which Pokemon he stole, but of course we're going to try and help him. We're going to chase after that Team Gatling grunt and get his Pokemon back. But we're going to end things off here for now. Thanks for watching.